Up next, the continuation of the AJ Styles and Rhino feud.
That's my favorite feud. They're continuing.
They are continuing. Like, all of these feuds continue another month, by the way. All of them.
All these feuds that have already been going forever.
At least they're doing shit with them. At least it's not like, oh, we're continuing it just to get another pay-per-view match out of them. They are also shooting...
Well, you say that, and then we go to this one specifically. I think with any of the other ones, you could have gotten away with that, but this is the most like, oh, I guess we'll just do this again because they're not doing anything.
Yeah, we are continuing their feud. I guess they still hate each other.
Like, I thought this one was done,
January 18th, Impact. AJ faces Kurt Angle in the main event. Rhino comes out to brawl with AJ during that match. We have actually almost covered nearly all of this because it's mostly that. It's just brawls that happen in other segments. With the important exception of the January 24th show, where JB is in Jim Cornette's office and Serotonin are there. And Jim is like, I don't understand you people, but you are wrestlers. Therefore, I can book you in wrestling matches.
Yes. It's true. Which, again, like, it makes you wonder with what happened. Like, either it was a very convincing disguise and AJ was there the whole time.
Yes.
Which, don't know if I think that was the case. Or it was Raven and then AJ came up to him immediately after and was like, hey, I need that.
Yeah.
Either way, AJ Styles has built some sort of rapport with Raven.
Yeah.
And is, like, in with Serotonin enough that he's allowed to hang out. Without being, like, killed.
So yeah, what happens is Jim is like, I'm going to book Raven versus Rhino tonight. And not only is it tonight, it's literally right after the break. It is immediately next. So Raven and Rhino never starts because Serotonin tried to jump Rhino and then Raven attacks him. But Liam, it's not Raven, as you said. It's AJ Styles.
Which just makes me question the relationship and the nature of all these people.
Yeah, so you raised two very important questions. Was it AJ all along? In this elaborate costume to trick Rhino, knowing that Jim would book Rhino in a match with Raven so that he could use that disguise to attack Rhino? That seems like a lot of planning. That seems like a lot of predicting behavior. So the more likely option is this match was booked. Raven or AJ were like, fuck that. Maybe Raven was like, fuck that.
Maybe Raven approached AJ and said, wear my sweaty clothing.
Yeah, swap clothes with me right now. Does that imply that Raven is just walking around backstage wearing like AJ's tights?
That's it. If the implication is that that's all the clothes Raven owns?
Well, maybe. Like, do you think he shows up to TV in this giant suit and also brings a second set of clothes?
I mean, for comfortability's sake, I'd hope. Again, but I feel like we're falling into the trappings of, once again, is Raven, like, as a character, like how Abyss getting a hotel? Is Raven bringing a second set of clothing? And is he a vampire?
It's a thing you have to give Vince Russo. It makes you think more deeply about these people as characters.
I do think about the hours before the show and after look for most of these characters.
These are questions we never had before, and now we're increasingly having them.
I am thinking about them. This is the thinking man's wrestling show of 2007.
Yeah, it raises you many questions about why any of this is happening, and who these people are, and what their motivation is.
I just wish they knew.
Yeah, well, listen, that's a whole different problem. So, yes, it is AJ, disguised as Raven. AJ lays out Rhino with a chair, and then Rhino is bleeding. The next week, AJ versus Joe is your main event. AJ tries to bail, but Rhino runs out to cause a DQ, which we did establish is an AJ Styles victory.
And then AJ murders him.
Yeah, AJ runs away from Rhino. He chases him to the back, and then AJ comes back. So presumably, yes, AJ did just kill him. Because Rhino chased him to the back, and only AJ came back. We never know what happens, which is another one of the many questions this month raises. Go home show, AJ and Rhino. We have a little history package as we announce it'll be a Motor City chain match at the pay-per-view. They'll be attached.
Motor City.
Pointing at Detroit. They'll be attached by a chain. A key will be on one pole. Rhino's weapon of choice will be on another. Because we can't just have a chain match. We have to juice this thing up with poles.
Yeah, and then his famous choice of weapon.
Yes, the nightstick.
Which again, like, they just did a whole thing about like how he had like the Detroit sign. You think that would be it, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Considering it's the Motor City chain match.
We just had a frickin' feud last month where they had a nightstick on a pole match, and that was like an Abyss, Christian, and Sting weapon.
Yeah, that's a prison weapon.
Yes. Ugh. Main event of the go-home show was the Angle and Joe against Styles and Christian match. Rhino interfered at the end of that allowed Angle to win, and then he got laid out by Scott Steiner, which does take us to Against All Odds, in which AJ Styles defeats Rhino in a Motor City chain match. A regular chain match is too boring, so we do have the polls. The chain is attached via handcuffs, which does seem...
Let's talk about how they fucking worked us.
Yeah, listen, if you go and listen to the watch-along, you will hear us be very smug about the idea that AJ Styles' handcuff is too tight.
Because he looks visibly pissed off. Like, there's little bits and pieces where you're like, I think this thing is really bothering AJ.
Yeah, it looks really uncomfortable because it's a really uncomfortable way to do a chain match, where instead of having like a leather strap attached to the end that you attach to the wrist, they're attaching the handcuff to one hand and then chaining the handcuff to the chain. So it's constantly like rubbing against the wrist the whole time. If you watch when AJ's having that handcuff applied, he's literally like, please put it on gently to Earl Hebner. And we were like, oh, it looks really like
no,
AJ's
and Earl
uncomfortable.
fucking like really does it. Like, it looks like it sucks.
Yeah.
And AJ looks immediately like, he's like, fuck you, like, ass. But you only see it happen to AJ.
Yeah, and he's complaining to Hebner, and he's whining, and he's giving out to Hebner, and we got fucking worked, because the story at the end is that the key gets knocked down away from Rhino. Rhino gets handcuffed to the ropes because AJ gets out, and he handcuffs him to the ropes so he can beat the shit out of him, and then AJ gets hit with a gore, and the key goes flying, but it's out of Rhino's reach while AJ's downselling the gore, and then Earl Hebner slyly walks over and kicks the key to Rhino, and then only then did it click to us that's like, oh, that was the actual story of the match.
Yeah, we thought we were smart and we were above it all.
And then they fucking worked us.
Yeah.
Which legitimately makes like a good story.
Yeah, I had to add like half a star to this match because of how much it got me.
Like, we were so smug about it. And then like they literally showed the replay at the end where you could see AJ like whining and complaining and making faces and be like, no, it hurts. You know, it's like, fuck.
We just didn't expect that from this company.
Yeah, it was like actually like subtle and nuanced and like relatively well done. And like maybe they just didn't tell the announcers because the announcers never picked up on it. But
yeah, which I guess is always the telltale, you think, because again we're so used to the announcers having to drill it into your brain.
And like we just talked about on TV how they're drilling everything into your brain at the moment. So for them to do like a subtle, nuanced, wrestling-based story about like organic moments that happen within the match, and for the announcers not to be like, "Do you see that? Do you see the look he gave Earl Hebner? Earl Hebner doesn't like him at the moment," you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really well done. And I was like, "Fuck." The crowd did chant, "You screwed AJ," after Earl did screw him. He did objectively screw him.
Yeah, but he deserved it because he was just annoying.
Yeah, that's true. And another just great performance from AJ top to bottom. Like, this is not necessarily a great match, but AJ...
How he's stooging.
He's so tapped into this heel
like
character.
Like a young Kyle Fletcher. He's stooging.
Yes. But yes, AJ actually ends up winning the match because Rhino, once he gets free, he goes out and gets a table, sets it up in the corner, gores himself through it, and then AJ pins him. He obviously didn't gore himself through it on purpose. AJ moved. But
it was a Sabu moment.
Yeah, he's like, fucking rawr, I'm a Rhino. That, no question. I believe him to be a Rhino.
I don't.
Why not?
I don't think he's a shoot Rhino.
He charges.
That means nothing.
He runs and he charges. He doesn't have a horn. That's a good question. What happened to his horn?
He never had one.
This is because Rhyhorn's your favorite Pokemon and you're super protective about rhinos.
Just saying. He's clearly not a real rhino.
Yeah. This was a clip from the Against All Odds 2007 episode of our TNA History podcast. You can check out the full podcast right here on the channel or head to patreon.com/kiddingme to get bonus content, watch-alongs, ad-free shows, extra shows, and so much more.